Better. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Apologies for the technical difficulties. So early last week, there were reports all over the place saying that the judge in Prince Harry's case against NGN basically told him to stop wasting the court's time. Now, when I saw that headline, I was like, wait, what? I have been obsessing over Prince Harry's cases, and I know that that is not what I was expecting to hear. Uh, but there was so much happening with Prince Harry's trip to Lesotho that I decided to wait until the frenzy with that trip died down before looking into this story. And surprise, surprise, when I went to look into the judgment of the case, the headlines we've all been seeing are all false. Are all false. If I can encourage everyone, if there's anything you can take away from this video tonight, it is that if you have the time and the inclination, when the papers report that there has been an update in Prince Harry's case, don't go by the headlines at all. It's all false. It's all propaganda. We know that there's propaganda going on, but we think that they are above twisting the narrative when it comes to court cases. No, no, as I just discovered, they are not. Turns out the judge's rebuke wasn't aimed at Harry at all. In fact, it was more like a slap on the wrist of NGN. They tried to play dirty, but the judge dismissed 18 out of 24 of their objections against Prince Harry's claim. For those of you who are not like me, you're not legal nerds, let me break down what I'm talking about, okay? A particulars of claim is basically the official document where Harry lays out his beef with NGN. It's where he says, here's how you messed with me. Okay? Right. So, before I go on, let me properly welcome you to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Wizzy, and I am here to bring you all the Sussex news served with a side of spice and an alternative point of view. So get comfy because we're about to unpack this true Wheezy style. Do you have your shock absorbers on? Dear. So why was there a ruling in the first place? Some of you might be thinking, why was there a ruling in the first place? And you know what? I don't even blame you for being confused. Where are we at? What case is this? Those are very valid questions. But that's exactly the reason why I'm here, to break it all down for you. Now, you see, before a case goes to trial, right, both parties, in this case, that would be Harry and NGN, they have to clarify what exactly they're fighting about. Okay, it's not just a case of you did this. Let's say Harry comes out and he says, you did this, you did this, you did this. So before the actual trial, the court tries to get them to narrow down the cases that can be or have the merit of being properly litigated. Okay, so if Harry brings up a claim, for instance, that has no basis in law, they will strike it out at this stage. If NGN is objecting to something which Harry has every right to bring up, it stays in, that kind of thing. All right, so they throw out the junk and figure out what's worth keeping in. That helps to save the court's time and resources, and also helps the parties minimize their expenses in the trial. It's all part of the process of not just trying to prolong a case for the sake of prolonging the case. The court has a duty to ensure that everybody is taken care of as well as the court is able to do so. All right, so moving on. So in Harry's case, they're still in the cleanup phase. Only when that is done can they now move on to gathering evidence and bringing in witnesses. Are you with me so far? I hope so. I hope so. Well, the judge just laid down the law in this latest ruling because he is sounding like he has had enough of NGN. He's had enough. He told Harry to tweak a couple of things in his particulars of claim, and he is fed up with NGN's nonsense. And you will see what I'm talking about because I'm going to share extra excerpts from the judgment with you so that you can not only see his tone, but see how many times he dismissed the NGN's objections to Prince Harry's complaints. Okay, so the judge is so over NGN's tactics, right, that he even said, look, I don't need another hearing. Just send me a schedule of what you all are still arguing about, and I'll decide what needs to be kept and what needs to be thrown out on paper. When they say on paper in court terms, that just basically means that there's no need for a hearing where both parties have to come to the court to have the argument. The judge can look at the paperwork and decide what stays and what goes. Basically, if you're to ask me, that is translation for stop wasting my time. Can we get on with this case? Lorna says, I think on this side of the pond, it's called discovery when both sides present evidence to the judge and he decides what goes forward. They're not even at evidence stage yet. It's the stage after this, then they will go into the evidence. What they're trying to decide right now is what are the complaints? What are the reasonable complaints? Because if Harry came in with like 20 things, maybe they could agree on 10 things. And so those key things they would put to the wayside and they would not bring them up when they come to trial. And maybe out of the 10 things, maybe 5 things are not relevant. And so the judge will strike those 5 things out. And so when it comes to the trial, they only focus on the 5 remaining things. That's their way of trying to streamline what actually comes to the trial, because even with what is going on right now, they are expecting the trial to last 6 to 8 weeks, guys. 6 to 8 weeks. Oh my god. Anyway, he warned both parties that the case is taking up so much court time and resources, and either they take it to trial in January 2025 or they settle. No, he's not allowing anyone to drag their feet anymore. But don't let the media twist that into Prince Harry is wasting the court's time. That's not what happened. In the judge's previous judgment, right, the judge ordered Harry to do 2 things. This is exactly what Harry was responding to, which brought about this new judgment that we're looking at right now. The judge asked Harry to update his claim to align with a judgment that he made back in May 2024. Breaking that down further, the judge basically told Harry that he had to separate his claims of private information misuse from the whole phone hacking mess. That effectively threw out the phone hacking claim. Okay? Second, he told Harry, second, Harry had wanted to add some new claims when he received the tranche of documents from the Levinson 2 inquiry. You guys remember when there were headlines confirming that the court had approved Harry's use of the Levinson 2 inquiry documents. Okay, when Harry received those documents, he then wanted to make amendments to his claim. The court allowed Harry to make the amendments to his claim, but asked him to present it properly. He had just basically, I think, they didn't have a lot of time to do it, and so it was not properly presented before the court. So the judge told the lawyers to present the new claims properly. That was it. That is so once Harry had made those amendments, he then presented it to the court. Once he presented it to the court, it was now left for NGN to agree or disagree with the amendments Harry had made to his particulars of claim. This is what led to the judgment that we are now analyzing today. So, both Harry, though, and NGN have tried to push their luck a little bit. You know, they're in a battle. It's not a networking event. They're in a battle. Harry tried to slip in some new stuff that the judge did not allow, and NGN kept objecting to things that had already been settled. So the judge had to come in and be like, you two are just doing the absolute most. So this is where I'm going to show you some of the extracts from the court judgment so that you can see exactly what I am talking about. Okay, so here you go. Right, so let me just center that. Yes. So the reality is that the judge dragged NGN. He dragged them by their hair. He said it was, just look at this. Number 14 of the High Court judgment, right? It says, on a different note, it is somewhat obtuse and pointless for NGN to complain that the Duke has failed to give full particulars of the nature of the MOPI complained of or the acts that amounted to a breach of duty of confidence, who exactly committed the wrong in question and when, where the facts relating to the Duke's case have allegedly been concealed by NGN and are not within his knowledge. Yeah, basically telling them it's pointless for you to object and complain that Harry has not provided you with the full details of how the misuse of private information occurred when it is clear that Harry has claimed that you concealed how you obtained the information. And if you concealed how you obtained the information, that means you also concealed who did it, when, and so on as it relates to that. Now, it's just like someone steals your car and then gets mad because you don't know exactly which highway they took when they were stealing your car. It's a bit ridiculous, honestly, but they're in a battle, as I said, not a networking event. So they're not meant to approach each other in a friendly manner. They are supposed to put obstacles in front of each other. So that's exactly what they're doing. Now, before we dive deeper into this madness, let me pause here for a second. If you are new here and you're loving the way we break down the stories, hit that subscribe button. Seriously, please do it now. Seriously, do it now. Hit the subscribe button. And for my loyal day ones, you know the drill. Like, share, and drop a comment. Okay? Like, share, and drop a comment. Are you with me? Are you following the gist of what I'm saying? Please let me know whether you're following me in the comment section. All right. And then the judge wasn't done. Okay. He went on a mini rampage, calling out NGN for dragging this case out unnecessarily. Did you see any part of that in the newspaper headlines that you've been seeing about the case last week? None. It was all about Prince Harry was warned that he's wasting the court's time. There was nothing about how the judge dragged NGN. You don't believe me? Okay, let me show you. All right. So here you go. So this is After the introduction to the judgment, at 15, 15, can you see this 15? So he says, I do not accept that there is confusion as to what the causes of action are on which the court relies. Objection dismissed. The connection here, going to the next one. The connection here is established by the payment records relied on in relation to parts G and H. Objection dismissed. I'm not going to go into the entire document because it will just be too confusing. Because in order for you to really understand this document, you have to have read all the ones beginning, all the original claim and all the documents that have come preceded this one. So that would take us too long to get through right here. But basically, this is the judgment of the court, and it is showing the judge's response to the objections by NGN, that's the Sun newspaper, to Prince Harry's amended complaint. Okay, so that's already objection dismissed, objection dismissed, objection dismissed, objection, and it says NGN is not entitled to raise this at this stage. Objection dismissed, objection dismissed, objection dismissed. Look at this. Can you see this? Objection dismissed. And same as row 11 above, that is basically objection dismissed, objection dismissed, objection dismissed. 18 times. 18 times. Look at this. Objection dismissed, objection dismissed, objection dismissed. What does the newspaper article say? The newspaper article says that the court ordered Prince Harry to stop wasting the court's time. Let's have a look. Just a second. Let me take you back. Right. There is just a second. Let me take you back. So, what does it say? It says, look at this one. From the Daily Mail, it says Prince Harry's claimed he was bugged and tracking devices were planted to monitor him are thrown out as judge warns Duke over use of court time. Did you see anywhere where they said that the NGN's objections to Prince Harry's complaints were dismissed? They completely flipped the story. They completely flipped the story upside down. Instead, the headline should have read NGN's objections to Prince Harry's complaints dismissed 18 times out of 24. That's what it should have read. That would be a more accurate reporting of what has happened in the court case. Look at this one. Prince Harry not allowed to make claims of bugs or tracking devices in lawsuits. This is Deadline. This is an American one, isn't it? But the source for the story is the Daily Mail. And I think the Deadline is one of Murdoch's syndicate magazines or newspaper. Prince Harry, the one that surprised me and I felt even a bit let down by was The Guardian, a paper I thought it would be more factual and they're more neutral in their reporting, but no. They ran with High Court judge criticizes legal battle between Prince Harry and the Sun. Although the headline is a bit balanced, but when you go into it, it doesn't make any reference to how many times the judge dismissed the objections of the Sun newspaper's lawyers against Prince Harry's complaint. It's wild to me how biased even the Guardian seemed in favor of NGN. I was actually shocked, and it is the shock that prompted this video. Because when I looked into it, I was like, oh my God. this cannot be real. And if you don't go in to look at the judgment of the case and you rely on the newspapers, just like we used to rely on the media reporting on Harry and Meghan, you would actually believe that he's at a disadvantage in the case. But when you go to the judgment and have a look at it, he has actually he is in a better standing in the case than NGN. If we can't get accurate news from the media, then why are they there? Now, to be real, the whole point of this smear campaign against Prince Harry isn't just about dragging his name through the mud in the court of public opinion. I mean, we already know there's a bigger game at play, right? We know that they're trying to ruin his reputation so that nobody takes him seriously. We know that they're trying to ruin his reputation so that nobody wants to work with him, thereby restricting his business opportunities. And we know that they want to do the same for Meghan as well. But there is an even deeper reason, which is what I thought about when I was working on this video. And I thought, if this case goes to trial and a jury is selected, they want those jurors to be biased against Harry already. They want people who've been marinating in negative headlines for years to subconsciously dislike Harry. And when you dislike someone, it becomes a whole lot easier to make decisions against them, even when they are in the right. So you're probably wondering, what are Harry's chances in this case? Honestly, if you ask me, I would say his case is pretty solid. Why? I think it was really strategic of him to have made sure that he tried to put the mirror case before the case of the son. Why? Because if you remember the background of this story, the backstory to this court case is that there was a particular private investigation agency which all the news media groups were using. Okay, and it's on the basis of that Prince Harry was able to settle his case with the Mirror Group, with them effectively admitting guilt. That same evidence is a lot of the same evidence is what is being relied on now, is being referred to as well in this case. And if it has already been settled in a previous case, that means that there is a higher chance that he's going to win this case, because a media group has already admitted fault in another case. NGN knows that they're at a disadvantage. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail. They're throwing every kind of objection that they can at this case, because once Harry wins this case, it will open the floodgates for all the people with similar cases to come forward and litigate their case. That's basically why Harry is doing it, at a huge loss to himself. So, he has lost whatever was left of his relationship with his father, his brother, gone. Even though it was a pretend relationship or a relationship with no depth at all, it was all torn away because his family decided to get in bed with the media, and the media were then able to leverage their relationship with the royal family against Harry when the court case came up. Because if the media have been keeping the royal family's secrets since, let's say, since Princess Diana died, who knows what they know about the death of Princess Diana? Who knows what they know about how long Camilla and Charles were sleeping together before they actually came out, before the scandal broke out? Who knows what they know about the so-called alternative lifestyles practiced by the royal family. Who knows what they know about whether there are illegal children in the wings? Who knows what they know, right? So if they weren't already in a relationship with the royal family, when the court case came up and they were trying to stop Prince Harry from proceeding forward with his court case, they wouldn't have been able to lean on the royal family to get them to stop Prince Harry. They wouldn't have done that. So even though normally the media would, of course, they've always been used by the, of course, they've always been used by the royal family because it is a relationship that they both benefit from. You only have to look back to the case of Princess Diana to figure that out. Because when the relationship with Princess Diana broke down, there was an equal type, if not worse, of a smear campaign going on because Princess Diana didn't have anyone to stand up for her at the time. So she went through it on her own. But what I'm saying is that the media now became the royal family's soldiers, their foot soldiers, if you like. So if we can cut the media down, if we can remove their hands and legs, neutralize them, then the royal family are going to have to look for another way to go after their enemies in the public going forward. So I think this is the reason why when Harry wrote his book, he focused his attention on the media because they are not a small meat. In order for him to do what he has done so far, he has had to put a lot of his time, attention, and resources into trying to deal with these cases against the media. And that is why I also focus on the media because I know that Harry can deal with the royal family on his own. He knows enough about the royal family to put them in their place. But when when the media got involved, they became a totally different ball game altogether. It became a totally different ball game altogether, and that's why he's focused his attention on trying to neutralize them, stop them, make them lose so much money that they go out of business, change their way of doing business, not just for himself, but for the government as well, for the royal family as well, and for the greater British public who are in one kind of blackmail situation, being held hostage by the British media at the moment. Anyway, if he is able to get rid of the British media, of the Murdoch enterprises in the UK, the royal family will have fewer soldiers fighting their battles for them. So, anyway, that is basically what's happening with the case uh, between Prince Harry and NGN. So, what's next? What's next in the case? Prince Harry and NGN have been ordered to file their amended particulars of claim and defense by the end of October. And after that, the real fun begins. Because the next thing on the court's timetable would be the exchange of witness statements and evidence. So, what do you want to guess? Prince Harry is going to surprise NGN with the evidence he has compiled but not yet disclosed. I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It will be so fun. So fun. So fun. So fun. Let me look at the comments. Oh yes, that's true. That is true. Um, the British press will never make themselves look bad. They only want to make Harry look bad. That's what they like. Yeah. Joan says NGN is not spinning. At this point, they're just plain lying. That is exactly what it is. Prince Harry's chances to win this case are very good. He has literally won. He just needs to stay the course, steady his nerves, not give a quarter, be strong and courageous, cross his T's, dot his I's, and him and his lawyer are going to win the case. And uh, by the way, it is definitely a David and Goliath kind of situation because the firm Harry is using, well, they are relatively experienced, very experienced firm. His lawyer has been involved in this case from the beginning when the Leveson 2 inquiry situation started all those many years ago. But can we talk about the lawyers that NGN are using? There is a circle of law firms in the UK called the Magic Circle. There's just 5 of them. They're huge with massive resources. I'm sure that for every hearing must literally cost both parties something like 200 to 250,000 pounds because they are using a firm called Chance. Clifford Chance, they charge something like £1,000 per hour. £1,000 per hour, guys. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. And whoever loses this case is going to pay that money. Oh my goodness. This is a case that is not for the plebs for sure. Anyway, guys, so we are coming to a close. As usual, we note that the smear campaign is alive and well. And on this channel, we have a segment called Activism Tuesday. It's very gentle, where we just do some things online to support those that support Prince Harry. And I found this really great article by Harper's Bazaar. It's all it talks about is Prince Harry reveals the adorable traits that Archie and Lilibet inherited from Meghan. It's a really lovely article. So let us lend our support to positive articles published about the Sussexes, right? So if we say we don't read the news because it's always negative, then let us then channel that energy to the positive articles that we do find about the Sussexes. So this article, I've got the link to the article at the top of the chat. Please click on it. They value the online metrics. So they look to see how many people have clicked on their articles, how many people have liked the articles, how many people have shared the articles. So if you're online and listening to this podcast, please go ahead to click the link at the top of the chat. If we can do something about it, like helping those who help the Sussexes, we would have done our own bit. Usually, when I make these calls, I get a lot of people who go on and engage with these articles. So please, let's do that today as well. It really helps. It really helps in the fight against the smear campaign. Because if these people know that they can get the same or even more engagement when they write positive articles, what are the chances that the tone of the articles that they write against the Sussexes will change? Especially when they see that people don't engage with their negative articles, but they get a lot of engagement when they write positive articles. Okay. And for those people who are being affected by the storms in America, my heart goes out to you guys. I feel so helpless. I wish there was something that I could do. Prayers to you guys. Stay safe. Don't, if you're the type of person to, and you're all alone, please, please, please reach out to people. Um, this is not a time to be on your own. Reach out. If you can reach out to someone, please do. I wish I could help. And the names of the storms right now keeps changing. One time it was Helene, next it was Milton, another one. What's the latest name of the storm right now? What's the latest name of the storm? Vanzola, you're leaving. Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Anyway, bye bye. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's Milton, is it? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Stay safe, everyone. And our prayers are with you guys. Stay safe. Don't try to be Jackie Chan. Just keep yourself safe. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. The goal is to bring you more of this as time goes by, and it ties in with the project that we have ongoing on this channel to file a petition against the fake headlines being churned out by the mainstream media in the UK without any accountability. I am going to give an update this weekend. I'm going to start promoting that this weekend. There's a lot of interesting things to talk about, and I can't wait to talk about it with discuss it with the channel members. So if you are not yet a channel member, please go ahead to join the channel because we are going to be updating you on all the progress that I have made behind the scenes on Saturday. All right. So that's all I have for you guys this evening. Um Thanks so much to my lovely moderator, Lorna. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Um Until next time, this is Wheezy signing out. Ciao. Ciao.